Hey, this is Mind Games, where we play Minecraft and other games, talking about life, love, and the like. Welcome back. In today's episode, we'll be talking about love. Why don't you drop a quick like and sub, and let's get into it. Before we really begin this conversation, we have to ask a simple question. What is love? Is it short and sweet? Is it a marathon? Painful? Or bliss? Now that I've got your wheels turning, I'm going to help you while you're ahead. You're wrong. Let me explain. The vast majority of people will say something along these lines. Love is the strongest emotion someone can feel, or love is just a chemical reaction. But I argue love is deeper than that. Firstly, even if love is quote unquote just a chemical reaction, almost all humans define their lives on chemical reactions. Whether it's anger or sadness, or that warm feeling you get when you finally win that game you're bad at. These chemical reactions are both meaningful to our lives and to the lives of people around us. Second, any love, platonic, romantic, or otherwise, is deeper than just a commitment. You aren't just saying I'm going to be around for a long time, you're saying I promise that I'll build a healthy and mutually beneficial situation. Yes, there's an emotional component involved, but the promise they'll build is stronger than the emotion it came from, not the other way around. Many people confuse the emotions behind love, and chaos results. Take this example. Jimmy dates his girlfriend for 2 months. He loves everything about her. Silly things. Then boom. 3 or 4 months later, Jimmy doesn't like her anymore. Now his ex-girlfriend is hurt because, without warning, he's removed himself from this relationship. Mentally or officially. So what happened here? Maybe his girlfriend just wasn't that great. No, I have a better explanation. Jimmy, like a lot of people, was just happy someone liked him. He heavily romanticized his partner's actions and didn't account for their flaws. When this partner couldn't live up to his imagination, well, then it turns out they weren't as great as he had assumed. This goes into one of my main points. The first aspect of really loving someone is accepting them for who and what they are, right now, not what they will be or not who they were. You can't love someone you do not know, and you also can't love someone you can't make a fair assessment of. To love somebody, you have to be able to accept flaws. I'm not talking about detrimental behaviors that end up hurting you. I'm talking about little quirks or personality traits. Perhaps this person is particular about food or acts a certain way because of their past. Or maybe they're late to everything. All these habits can be improved to an extent, but to love somebody, you must accept that they are neither perfect, nor are they the fairy tale you drew up in your mind. Unless you can accept the human being, you cannot love them. This leads me to my next point, which I think is an aspect of the love conversation that is often left out. This applies mostly to heterosexual relationships, and the point is, you can't love women correctly if you hold sexist views. And here's why. Sexism presents women and those who present female in this other category of people, which most of you know. Many of the roles assigned to women make them out as objects, commodities, or even property to be added to a man's life, and not human beings. If you can't see someone as a human being, you can either respect them or accept them for their flaws, thus taking away the ability to correctly form a healthy, loving relationship with these women. This leads to relationships that can only end sideways. As women are real human beings, these relationships will either result in one partner being disgruntled because their partner doesn't meet the standards of sexism, or the other partner will become dissatisfied with the state of affairs that forces them to change themselves for the sake of quote unquote love. This brings us to my final point. Love is all the aforementioned things. But in the end, most importantly, love is a responsibility. It's not a responsibility to someone's happiness or to solve problems that aren't your job to fix. It's a responsibility held by both parties to live up to the promises made by saying, I love you. By forming a loving relationship with someone, platonic or romantic, you become responsible for the emotional content surrounding any breach of that promise. If you're constantly breaching the trust around the promise, well, simply, you're not loving your partner. And this responsibility you have now, you're solely in charge of maintaining your end of the bargain. If you can't communicate a change in feelings or emotions, you're the one at fault, and no one else. And that's only the beginning of figuring out love. This is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a good day.